the ancient moon remnants made by the dragons. Their purpose? Tearing down the heavens. But why is it in the shape of a moon, and how did it end up beyond the fake sky? I shall break it down today, and as always, if you have any ideas or theories about them, no matter how crazy, let me know in the comments. I shall be there, as usual, to answer and discuss them with you. Now, put on your highest eye-level scholar gear on, and let us commence forth. The ancient moon remnants found beyond the false sky most likely tied to the tale of the three moon sisters, Arya, Sonnet, and Kanon. They existed in an era before humanity was created, where the three sisters illuminated the night sky. This was in an era following the dragon sovereign's defeat in the war against the heavenly principles, so the fake sky was already established. Eventually, their story was cut short during a great cataclysm that took place in a time where humanity did exist and was spanning across the whole of Teyvat as a single, unified, nearly perfect civilization, which you're most likely familiar with thanks to Enkanomiya being part of it. Yes, I am bringing up Enkanomiya again. Still the best area in the game, no debate accepted. Unless you bring up Dragonspine or Remuria, in which case, here's your crown, you just dropped it. For further context, Enkanomiya appears to have sunk below ground around the same time as two of the three moon sisters were killed during the battle against the second Descender. Afterwards, the other dragons who survived the war against the heavens and created weapons sided with King Nibelung, who realized that only an external force could repel the heavenly principles, meddling with forbidden knowledge and breaking the natural order of Teyvat, taking himself out in the process. One of the weapons was Huitzilopochtli, a world-ending weapon, which I cover in these videos. The other weapons, the ancient moons. I believe the untold events went this way. During Nibelung's rebellion, the dragons used the ancient moons. The heavenly principles realized it was an immense threat to them and destroyed one of them, removing it and placing it beyond the false sky. One of the other moons was disabled and left inoperable. This is a take we can only have since Natlan's reveal. Before that, the moons were regarded as sentient divine beings, as you might have noticed by my previous choice of words. In the original tales, they were regarded as goddesses with a benevolent nature towards humanity, observing them from the sky. It connects with the tale of Koro and Ukuku, which I also cover fully in this video, as their story happens in some of the earliest times of humanity, with Kolo's father, the sun, possibly being a metaphor for King Nibelung, leader of dragonkind which created the moons, as one celestial fragment tied to Kolo can be found in Natlan. Out of the three moons, all can now be witnessed in the present day. One was left inoperable or dead, remaining inactive, illuminating the night sky. Next, we have the remnants discovered beyond the false sky, destroyed, most likely during the Great Cataclysm. Lastly, one appears to have been put away. In the tales, she is said to have left Teyvat, traumatized by what happened to her sisters. I suspect this moon to be the one we can see in the Spiral Abyss, which extends beyond the false sky. I would deduct that the heavenly principles took hold of this last moon and made it inaccessible, similar to the Broken One's remnants, as there are no mentions of this specific moon ever sustaining damage, and in fact the tale confirms that it was still living, aka in working order. This ancient moon might remain functional as a weapon and could see some use in the closing acts of Genshin Impact's story. It would group the Abyss, Khaenri'ah, the Descenders, and the Dragons conveniently into one condensed package of planetary-scaled events, perfect for a clusterfuck of a finale. You heard mentions of Khaenri'ah and wonder why? Well, just for you passionate and curious lore enthusiasts, I shall explain. The ancient moons have interesting ties to the Crimson Moon. The connection is thin, but it exists and is supported by the story itself. Both are regarded as greater beings, and one of them ended up in the Abyss. The Crimson Moon dynasty ended when the Crimson Moon fell deeper into the Abyss, with a dark sun taking its place. It would mean that the dark sun of Khaenri'ah, which started the Eclipse Dynasty, and mocking moonlight referred to as Pale Fate by Khaenri'ans, is none other than the moon that ended up in the Abyss, succeeding to the Crimson Moon. Not only the timelines do match the approximate fall of the Crimson Moon dynasty, but both moons are distinctively waiting for the old world to burn, which suggests Khaenri'ahs may be part of the first civilization, having sunk below ground like Enkanomiya, and both wished to free themselves from the rules of the divine. The fact is, ancient moons are weapons crafted by dragons, so could the Crimson Moon, which is also regarded as a divine entity, be a weapon? What are your thoughts on all this, and how do you think that the moons will become relevant in the future? I shall be eagerly waiting to see future mentions of them in-game. Until then, Sir Eoth bids thee farewell.